Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And I just witnessed one of the more wilder games I've seen in a long time. Green Bay's known for having these type of fucking games, but boy, was that fucking chaotic. Um, I, I mean, how do you even put things into perspective after that? Um, I'll reiterate, going into these last 3 weeks, they're 3-6, going against the Chargers, Lions, Chiefs. I did, and I think the rest of the fans thought we were going 0-3, 100%. And the fact that they somehow pulled out these 3 wins in a row to go to 6-6 and be currently the 7th seed of a wild card. Like, if the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs. It's absolutely mind-boggling how the NFL is. The NFL is the craziest shit of all time. Ho, ho, ho. Merry fucking Christmas to me. Wow. What a fucking game. Besides for, my kids being asleep right now, I could fucking scream my fucking ass off right now in excitement. But also, too, it's, a little bit anticlimactic that, the way the officials ended that game, they were certainly on something that last series. The stereotype is that Green Bay, always gets the calls from the refs. At least from my algorithm is that's what I see. But, the officials were on one there. Definitely was should have been a call for defensive pass interference on Valentine on that MVS deep shot. So Kansas City should have gotten the ball with I think it was around 20 to 30 seconds on the 5-yard line, and that changes the game. But officials were definitely on one. But it was nice. It's hard to say. It's weird to say. It's nice that they got the call, but whatever. I just it is what it is type thing. You think of that last shot with Keyshawn Nixon and Patrick Mahomes. The roughing, the unnecessary roughness call. It's hard for me to say because I'm a biased fan, but it didn't look like that to me. What more can you do? It wasn't head-to-head contact. It was shoulder-to-shoulder contact. And, like they were saying on the call, Patrick's trying to get the yardage. Yeah, he's running towards the out of bounds, but he's trying to get that first down as well. So, that opens up that, window of, he's an open runner, so he can be tackled. So, you almost wish that those things all these penalties kind of offset, but there's the pass to MVS right after that where he catches the ball and runs straight out of bounds while I think it's Corey Ballantyne has a gable grip belly to back situation, and he's just trying to pull him in bounds, try to keep that clock going. But the ref, she called stop the clock. It's you think you see all the time the plays are getting stopped as soon as forward momentum's done. But it is what it is. I'm kind of rambling at this point. Man, what a victory, though. I guess before I continue with everything, I guess I will address the very last play. Like they were saying on the call, Mike Tirico, I think, said it pretty good. It's when these Hail Marys happen at the end of the game, sure, you can say there's a push in the back on Travis Kelce at the end, but when there's a bunch of guys like he was saying, and there's the ball's in the air. They rarely, and I put these are air quotes, rarely call these penalties on those last seconds unless if it's like super blatantly obvious. And when you're watching that in fast time, it's kind of hard to call unless if it's super blatantly obvious, and especially the refs are looking at everything and there was like a bunch of bodies there, so things happen in a split second and things are missed. But man, I just can't say it enough how much of a freaking victory this was over the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. And yes, it's not the same Chiefs, but they still have all their head honchos. They got the Patrick Mahomes, they got the Travis Kelce's, they got the Taylor Swifts, they got the Isaiah Pacheco's, and my gosh, is that guy an absolute kryptonite against the Green Bay Packers. What an absolute steal in the 7th round by the Chiefs to get Isaiah Pacheco. That man is a fucking dog of a runner. Like, he's the epitome of like drive and keep moving your legs to get those extra yards, and of course Green Bay is known for not having a run defense, and especially yards after contact with runners, because they always like contact them at the line of scrimmage, but they'll still get 5-6 yards just on drive alone. So he is just tailor-made for running the ball well against the Packers, and I think he had over 100 yards. Thankfully, he got disqualified for throwing a punch, I believe at Keyshawn Nixon. And I think that helped in a way on those last few plays and possessions, not having Pacheco in there. But man, I mean, I guess I'll transition off to Keyshawn Nixon. What a fucking absolute play. I've been dogging him these last couple weeks. I have not really liked him in the slot, playing that nickel guy. I almost wanted Darnell Savage, the starting safety, to play that nickel guy. I think he's just better suited for that. I think Joe Barry's even said that in the past, that he's just better off at that nickel spot rather than that free safety. But Joe Barry clearly was having Darnell cover Travis Kelce the whole game. And they kind of set up Keyshawn Nixon to be that nickel guy, and man, what an absolute fucking great interception that he did on Patrick Mahomes. Like, just even defending the guy and tracking the ball down, catching the ball over his head, making those catches as a defender and getting his feet in bounds is exactly what you need to swing that momentum. Those are the breaks that an NFL team needs to beat these tough teams, to beat the playoff contenders, to beat the world champions. You need plays like that at the most critical time, because Mahomes is a fucking dog. He is him. He's Green Bay played so well offensively the whole game, and I'll transition to that in a second. But it just felt like that last series where they were doing great. They just like couldn't get that final touchdown to stamp this game home. And you had Patrick get the ball back. They're down, I think it was 5 or whatever it was. They were down 5, and it just felt like the Chiefs were just driving every time they had the ball. If this was like, other teams, if we were playing like a Desmond Ridder and he's like, doing this to our defense, I'm absolutely pissed. But, I definitely expected our defense to just get shredded by Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And, it didn't get shredded, but Patrick was definitely having his way with the, maybe not to the best ability, because his receivers have just been very very low. They just haven't been the greatest this year, but Patrick was still driving them down the field, getting them in good position to at least score points and get into the red zone. And it just felt like this team needed to come up with a big turnover or a big sack or a big fumble to stop it, because you just knew Patrick was going to drive them all the way down the field to take the lead, and then Green Bay would have to come up with something with like a couple minutes left. And that's what I mean. Keyshawn Nixon, and once again, I've been dogging him, so I'm a part of the problem too. But he just came up with such a clutch interception to give Green Bay the ball back, and ultimately that got him into field goal range. And Anders Carlson kicked that 40-yard field goal. Credit to him. He's a rookie. He's a 6th-round pick. And he came up big tonight with that 40-yard field goal. So credit to him. He's been, he's had his ups and downs this year. But credit to him for making that kick in Lambeau Field, high-pressure situation. Credit to him. And I guess same thing every week. I'm going to give credit to a lot of these young kids. They said it on the call all night. These young guys, it's the youngest team in the league, the youngest receiving core, I think, ever in NFL history. I've said it before. They're so young, first and second year guys, and it's so cool to see these guys come and play their ass off and execute their routes and catch balls. Romeo Doubs, 4 catches, 72 yards, and of course had that big 4th and 1 catch for like 30 yards. But just the man, his thing is he's got fucking the strong hands to catch the ball. He goes up and grabs that sucker in the air, and he's got like that Greg Jennings like catch ability. It's the best way I can describe it. He just goes up and searches the ball and grabs it with his hands. And from a kid from Nevada, not one of these, Big Ten SEC schools, a kid from Nevada, like that's pretty cool to see. Like, and a super humble kid. I just hard not to root for the guy, And then you got Christian Watson, and obviously point blank, I've felt that he's been playing very subpar football when he's been in this year. But he's got all the tools and the intangibles. And, again, another one of these guys. He's an FBS kid from North Dakota State. He was the first pick in the 2nd round last year. But when you draft these kids from those type of schools, the reason why you draft these guys is because they got these great intangibles and great physical abilities, and he has that. He's got the speed, he's got the long, lengthy body, he's got the long stride, breakaway speed to get away from defenders. He's got to work on his route running, but that comes with everything that NFL season brings. He's going to get better at that, but he's got all the superstar intangibles to be a great player. That's why he was drafted so high. Like I said, even from like a FBS school in North Dakota. And the man came up absolutely freaking big last week and now this week. And he had 7 catches for 77 yards, I think it was, and 2 tuds. Man, I fucking absolutely love that kid. And, I'm kind of eating crow right now because I was dogging him earlier in the season. But shame on me. These guys are going to get better every week. This NFL season is such a week-to-week league. And, I'm part of the problem too. I put, these guys, I'm like, why aren't these guys performing each and every week? Well, maybe sometimes these guys got to grow each every week, learn from their mistakes, get better. And, Matt said it last week with that first play against Detroit. Christian, you need to go up. We're giving you the ball in the first play. You need to go up and get the ball. That's what he needs to do. He can't just let the ball come to him. He needs to go up, make a play for his guy, and go up and catch that ball. And that's what he's done last week, and that's what he's done this week. 7 catches for 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. The touchdown he got from Jordan Love, just absolutely snagged that ball defender had pretty good coverage, and he just went up and snagged that ball. Jordan Love throwing a great ball there, helping him out. And man, I absolutely love that kid. And it's so bittersweet. I want to really be happy about this win, but it sucks because again comes up, you know, you know, first of all, Matt LaFleur with the great play design, doing that jet sweep to on that final drive where Packers got a field goal. Matt draws up a beautiful play with Christian Watson with the jet sweep, handing him off to him, and then obviously his hamstring comes up again. I think that's what's kept him out for four of these games this year is his hamstring. For lack of a better example, and I don't even like doing this because he's not at that level yet, but for lack of a better example, it's so similar to he's such like a Bo Jackson, where he's such a physical freak of an athlete that he like gets injured, so he just gets injured so not easily, but he's just like so injury prone that like it's from his ability from running. So he's running so fucking fast that he like fucks up his hamstring. Like he's like his own kryptonite is the best way I can say it. But man, the kid came up strong. I'm praying this is not going to be a long injury because we're going to definitely need him. Hopefully don't have to go on IR. That'd be pretty rough, probably ultimately, maybe ending this season. Hopefully, we don't know anything yet, but I just want to give credit where credit's due. Christian Watson, second-year guy, coming up big, for his guys, 7 catches, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the other weeks I was saying how it felt like Romeo and Christian as the second-year guys were kind of like taking, like a step back and letting the 2 other rookies, Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed, it was almost feeling like they were like going to be the future, the first and the second wide receivers. And definitely Romeo and Christian, made a statement today that they're a force to be reckoned with, and they're second year players. They're still getting better every single week. They're still learning. But I mean, it's I guess I'll talk about Dontavian Wicks. Great job on him today. He's missed last week in Detroit, came back this week after a concussion, got 3 catches for 43 yards. I love the kid. Like he's got a lot of Devontae in him, and I don't say that lightly because like it's obviously a big statement, but he's got Devontae-like isms in his game, and love to see it. Jaden Reed, my guy, and didn't have the big stats, had 4 catches for 16 yards, but made some huge, crucial runs today. Started first play of the game, do a jet sweep to him, gets 10 yards on the play. Like the man is fucking electric, and I'm still so excited to see how he continues to grow every day, and how he develops. And once again, a guy who was went undrafted this year, Malik Heath. I just want to like talk about him a little bit because even though he only had 1 catch for 15 yards today, that 1 catch was fucking absolutely amazing. He catches the ball completely like, sidestep, jukes out, the safety, gets 15 yards, gets the first down, runs out of bounds. The man came up big today, and I just want to give him some love because, once again, a undrafted guy, rookie this year from Ole Miss, I believe, and a guy that was he was the guy in camp that was absolutely lining it up on the field, and it was like he was the sleeper to make the 53-man roster. He was one of those type guys, and they kept him, and he just came up big these last week with three catches. All 3 catches was absolutely big against Detroit, and then today came up with a great catch and move. Showed his ability, and I just want to give him some love, and then finally, I want to give some love to the other guy who scored the first touchdown today. And this is like such a Green Bay thing to do, but a guy named Ben Sims caught his first NFL touchdown today. He's the fourth string tight end, playing, and so he has the second team reps right now, he's the second string right now due to Luka Musgrave being on IR and Josiah DeGuara, who unfortunately won't be on the team anymore. After seeing all these rookies, like the kid, but yeah. Anyways, he was out this week, but Ben Sims, a guy who also went undrafted, when Green Bay picked him up, it was reported that he was they got him from the Minnesota Vikings practice squad, and I thought nothing of it. I'm like, oh, okay, we just randomly got this guy from the Minnesota Vikings, whatever. And then going back to look at it, he's also a rookie this year who went undrafted. He's 6'5" from Baylor, like just an absolute he's like that freak specimen tight end that you want on a team. And it was nice to give him, his first NFL touchdown today. So yeah, that was he had the one catch for 1 yard, so it was really cool. AJ Dillon, man, he had 18 carries for 73 yards. I felt like he got way more, but man, has that guy fucking turned his he's turned up his game to another level. Was absolutely killing it today in the run. Without him today, Green Bay does not win this game. He was getting those tough yards. He was getting those, those 1st and 10 runs where he gets 6 yards. Like just such great things to help, out your offense and put them in, 2nd and 3rd manageable rather than these 3rd and 10s every single time. Like, AJ, you are a fucking fan in my book. I don't know if you'll be on Green Bay next year, but I love that kid. That kid's awesome. He's the epitome of what Green Bay is. Just love to see how he's playing right now. Hopefully, Aaron Jones can get back maybe next week. Because I think when Aaron Jones is healthy, I think that's when AJ Dillon's even more lethal, in my opinion. I kind of rambled on, but I guess I want to finish off the offensive side with Jordan Love. 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I think they put up a stat. He's tied for the league with Brock Purdy with the most 3 touchdowns, 0 interception games this year with 4. So, it's just great to see him, taking care of the football, throwing the ball a lot better than what he was the first half of the season. We all had our doubts with him, but I think he's solidifying himself as one of, and I want to put this in the right terms because I don't want to he's solidifying himself as a great up-and-coming quarterback. And again, things I appreciate the most about him is his poise in the pocket. He doesn't get too high on the highs. He doesn't get too low on the lows. He's poised in the pocket. He sees the reads and makes the decisions. If he sees his reads, if the first guy isn't open, the second guy isn't open, then he throws to his check down. He goes through his progression and he stays calm in the pocket. And then if he has to, he can run outside and use his feet, excuse me, and be an athlete and get those running yards. And I think you got to lock him up right now before he gets too expensive. I don't think they can actually sign him to an extension until like May or something due to regulations and how things work in the NFL. I don't think they can just do that right now, but man, I think the earliest you can, you got to get him an extension because he's playing his best football right now. But held Travis Kelce to pretty good numbers. Didn't get over 100 yards. I think that's a win. I mean, I think every team, if you could hold Travis Kelce to under 100 yards, that's a win. Defense played fucking great today. That's what I shouldn't even say that. They didn't play great, but they did what they needed to do, and that is such the Joe Barry thing to do. He's a bend but don't break type guy. Keep everything in front of us type coach, and I can just imagine him sitting in the booth absolutely fucking jizzing his pants that he's got a lead, and all he has to do is just keep everything in fucking front of us. Don't let any big plays happen. And that's the way Joe Barry wins in this league. He just, offense gives us a lead, and we're just gonna fucking not let anybody beat us. And to his credit, that's what he did. Lucas Van Ness, the first-round pick, got a big sack today on Patrick Mahomes. Great for him. Other guys, 4 guys credited for a half a sack. Rashawn Gary, the man is a fucking dog. I fucking love that guy. Definitely deserves his contract. One of the best defensive ends in the NFL right now. Excuse me, I'm talking too long. I'll wrap this up. But Preston Smith got a half a sack. Devontae Wyatt, first-round pick last year from Georgia, got a half a sack. Kenny Clark, nothing needs to be said about Kenny Clark. He's a dog. Got a half a sack today. Just great to see these guys playing some of the best football. So, they're 6-6. Excuse me. Sorry about this. But this is great. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight because I got to get up, but for work. But I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. This is one of the more fun wins I've had in a long time. This week and last week, it's just been so fun. So, thank you guys for watching these dumb rants. So, appreciate anybody who watches, even if it's just a couple of you. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys want to leave a comment, do the whole spiel, smash that like button, whatever you got to do. All right, that's my cue. I got to go. Bye.